Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part 3 of Chapter 12, Communication Climate. Previously, we've been discussing specific language choices of how we can change our behavior from defense-provoking behaviors which lead to negative, disconfirming communication climates to more supportive communication behaviors which creates supportive communication climates where people feel valued. Now we're going to be taking it back a bit and talk about what type of communication in general we should be engaging in to create this supportive communication climate, and that is invitational communication. Invitational rhetoric or communication is communication exchange in which participants create an environment where growth and change can occur, but where changing others is neither the ultimate goal nor the criterion for success in the interaction. So again, it is communication exchange where growth and change can occur. So growth and change can occur, but changing others is not the goal or the criteria for success in interaction. Instead, success is measured by the exchange of ideas, and that is it. So you're already successful. Invitational communication welcomes others to see your point of view and freely share their own. We should offer ideas without coercion, listen with an open mind, and exchange ideas without pressure of trying to change other people's minds or having my mind changed either. So, this is incredibly confirming because it is in essence saying that your values, your ideas, your attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors matter so much that I am not striving to change them. I just want to understand them better. And just like that, that can allow for a free exchange of ideas where there is a positive communication climate. Let's talk about politics. Have you had situations where political communication or disagreements have led to disconfirming communication climates? Usually they do. But as I've said, anything that is human is mentionable, and everything that is mentionable is manageable. And especially with things very deeply held, things like politics, religion, by engaging in invitational rhetoric, it can allow for a free exchange of ideas to be able to discuss these things, but not try to pressure to change someone's mind. Language of choice matters well. Also, we should describe choices instead of obligations. Instead of saying, I have to, saying things like, I choose to. That makes it so that instead of me having to do something, it's that I want to do something or I've chosen to do this thing. It's more specific, it's more honest communication, and it doesn't attack someone else or communicate a lack of value for that actual thing that you're doing. For example, I have to do this group project. I have to do this homework assignment. No one has to do anything. So number one, no one has to do anything, but there are actions and reactions. But that being said, by saying things like I want to or I choose to do this assignment, that makes it so that number one, it doesn't create defense provoking behavior from someone else, and that it doesn't communicate a lack of value for the assignment, for the person. It also communicates to myself that these are choices that I'm making and make it easier to engage in those choices. Also focus on decisions. I'm going to, um, instead of things that I've had to do. Invitational communicators extend freedom to others and exercise it themselves. We all have choices and we all can make choices freely. Focus on choices facilitates goal achievement. We're more likely to achieve our goals if we focus on choices instead of begrudging acquiescence. So, in a perfect world, everyone would engage in confirming communication using description instead of evaluation and all of the other Gibbs supporting communication uh, behaviors, but we don't. We don't live in a perfect world. So, we will get criticisms, we will get disconfirming communication happening to us. So, how should we react? How do we usually react? We usually react in kind by attacking back. If someone doesn't value me, then I don't value you. But this creates disconfirming cycles that only make the situation worse. Like any system, I can create large ripple effects. So if I communicate with value of other people, even when there's disconfirming, then that's fine. Then I am able to fundamentally shape the climate. There's two ways that we can respond, by either seeking more information or agreeing with the critic when that is necessary. So, when seeking information, there's three ways to do this. First, we can ask for specifics. How can we improve on vague criticisms? We really can't. If someone says, you're inconsiderate, then I may say something about, what about my behavior was inconsiderate? In so doing, I'm not devaluing what the other person said. Yes, it was very evaluative and very defense provoking, but by asking for specifics, now they have to start changing their language to the specific behaviors that I've done instead of about who I am. Also, even guessing about specifics can be good. This is when people cannot clarify their own criticisms. Maybe you can say, was it because I was running late? Was it because I accidentally stepped on your dog? In so doing, I'm seeking specifics so that I can clarify their criticism. And then paraphrasing. Using those reflective listening skills can also help with seeking more information. What do you mean by that? Or something like, so you mean, so what you mean by me being considerate, that, I'm, well, I mean, I guess in that one it's kind of hard to paraphrase, but in general, you're using those reflective listening skills to show value by listening. And then we have agreeing with the critic. Sometimes if someone says, hey, you're a jerk, guess what? You may actually be a jerk. You can agree with the truth. Yeah, I was a bit of a jerk in that situation. You're absolutely right. I apologize. You can also agree in principle. You can accept the principle on which the criticism is based, but still behave the way that you've been. A good example of this is you can say, for example, if someone says, hey, you're being messy, then you can say, you know what? Yes, not cleaning the dishes can qualify as me being messy, but not actually agree with that I am messy. And you could even agree with the critic's perception. This is when the criticism has no basis in agreement. You can at least acknowledge the reasonableness of their perceptions, even though you don't agree or wish to change. When someone, for example, says, you know what, everyone who doesn't believe that the earth is flat are total brainwashed morons. That, obviously, is hilarious, but also I can agree with their perception. I can say, well, you know what? From what you've said, you know what? I can agree that you believe that. Or um, in a less judgmental way, I could say, you know what? From the articles that you've stated, yes, I can see that I can see that you could believe that. I can see how someone could believe that. And just like that, you are not completely disagreeing. You're still creating a positive communication climate, but you have not agreed. You have not agreed. You've at least acknowledged that, you know what, that's reasonable for someone to believe. And just like that, it allows for a positive communication climate. And in that same example, especially the ones where people are very strong on their beliefs, it allows for an open opportunity to continue communication so that there can be a possible changing of someone's mind. And just like that, those are the ways that we respond to defense-provoking behavior. We seek more information and we agree with the critic. Both are very challenging ways of going about it, and these are only because we do not live in a perfect world. So with that, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you next time.